Sorry about that. Keep forgetting to put my mic on. But welcome, guys, to Unapologetic Real Talk. I see that Annette Johnson is in the house. She says, "Greeting, Lady D and chat. How are you doing? How are you doing, guys? Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. In here, we are grown folks. Like I always say, we ain't got time to sit there and pacify anyone. As you see right here, I just had to come back because you know me, I'm with my research, misbehaving, she'll tell you right there, So I went ahead and did some research when it comes to Belle Collective because, just like I said, I always talk about love and marriage in Huntsville. And once I start watching, which was, I think it was like last month getting into it, I just watched all the episodes back to back. And I was really interested in it. But I want to go ahead and talk some more when it comes to SoGucci when she was on Colorist King platform. And I went ahead and I picked it apart, got some clips. I want to go ahead and play all that, because I think, when it comes to SoGucci, I think, when she brought in her grievances, I think that it was ignored I think it was ignored. And I see where when it comes to Colorist King, he went ahead and he pulled that scene, he pulled it completely out. And that says a lot right there by itself. Okay. So guys, if you can hear me, I didn't do a mic check Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Annette, thank you for coming in. Also, I see Nikki Ridges. She's in the house. She says, hello, beautiful lady. So, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk, my true tellers. Yes, indeed. So, let me go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into my commentary. Okay. I see Jay. Jay's in the house. She's giving me 3 thumbs up. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I see that I have at least 11 in the house, guys. Come on and hit that like, support this channel, because we already know when it comes to this channel right here, I might have a very small viewers, but it makes a big impact, because trust me, they already went ahead and strike my channel. And that's why, when it comes to these reality shows, we just take it too far, and every time when I come on and I see this strike on my channel, which it should be off on the 15th of this month. I think they had gave me 3 months, but it's just so sad. It's so sad, and people think that, oh, you have to have a huge platform. No, trust me, the right people is right here. So it's not about the numbers, because I truly believe that, trust me, my word is getting across, and that's real talk. So Stylist Jill is in the house. She says hello. Okay, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for coming in. Yes, indeed, to Unapologetic Real Talk. So I got a lot of stuff, guys, that I want to go ahead and talk about. Let me see if I can go ahead and bring the screen up a little bit, okay? So as you can see right here, we have some hot topics. I want to go ahead and mix it up. I just don't want to just stay in the box, because, it's so much stuff that is going on, and we just focusing on just one thing, I mean, so much. I wouldn't never, even imagine, I will be watching another show, Belle Collective, but I'm glad that, I'm broad myself. And also, I love talking about politics, and I also love talking about, when it comes to Black issues. And I am a historian. I love to talk about things that, going to wake the hell up about our people. I see Travanista is in the house. She says, happy Wednesday. Guys, thank you. Thank you for coming in, guys. It means a lot. So let me go ahead and load the music down just a tad bit, okay? So you guys can hear me real good, because I don't want to continue doing the same thing over and over. So as you can see right here, when it comes to all this right here, I was trying to find the entire clip when I saw where Colorist King, he had Love and Marriage in Huntsville. He had the Scots, I think it was some type of event that was sponsored by OWN TV and also the NAACP. I was trying to find the entire clip, but I couldn't find it. But I'm going to go ahead and comb through that as well. But in the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Gucci. I think her real name is Sophia, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, let me know. I apologize if I went ahead and said it wrong. We're going to talk about how I feel, what she talked about. It was pretty much ignored. When someone sat there and say that they feel, unprotected, and also they go to the extent to get, the court involved in it, I think that especially when it's on your job, they should take it serious, because we already know a lot of stuff had happened. So we're going to talk about that as well. And like I said, I'm in here, I'm non-biased, even though, I do like Colorist King, but some of the stuff that he does, but I'm gonna tell my truth, okay? So in the meanwhile, we're gonna also talk about a little bit. I want to go talk about colorists when it comes to these reality shows. I think there's a lot of colorism that's when it comes to those shows. They feel that, if anything that's close to light or whatever, they give them a pass. That's how I see it, because I just don't understand how we all watching one show, the same show, but we seeing different things. Like I said, pictures tells 1,000 words. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that as well. And my girl Serena Williams, we're gonna talk about her, because I mean, so many videos has been coming out, and now she's addressing, when it comes to the bleaching of her skin. And as you can see right here, we're going to talk about that. That is a must, especially when it comes to self-hate, which Serena did say that, she's not bleaching her skin, but, people that, in that feel, they know exactly what's going on. And also when it comes to the grand dam, yes, we're going to go ahead and talk about Karen Hugert. Okay. So let me go ahead and see if I can close some of these tabs because I have so much stuff that I want to go ahead and talk about within an hour. Okay. So let me go ahead and read the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. And like I said, guys, in here is real talk, okay? So let me pull this up. We're going to go and start with Serena Williams. So let me see if I can go ahead and share this screen right here, okay? So Serena Williams, like I said, guys, I love me some Serena Williams, but like I said, we got to call it out as we see it. So let me see if I can pull it up because I know I pulled it up. I didn't have no problems, but look like now I'm seeing problems, okay? So let me see. Okay, I got it. So let me see if I can go ahead and share the screen. So guys, if you're just coming in, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. So this right here, this article I saw by TMZ, where Serena Williams, she had came, which I did see it on her page on IG, where she went ahead and addressed some of the stuff that was going on when it comes to the bleaching of her skin, where it says right here, according to TMZ, that Serena Williams has slammed skin bleaching claims. She's saying that it is ridiculous. Now, anybody that does not see the difference, you got to be wrong, okay? Something got to be wrong with your eyes. But, like I said there and say, it's not just Serena Williams. It's so many people, because of that self-hate, because of social media. And, it's just time for us to start educating ourselves, starting to love ourselves and not knowing. And I talk about it all the time. And I know some of you guys don't want to hear it, but, like I said, I'm going to continue talking about it all the time, especially, when it comes to the melanin that is in our skin. We trying to bleach it out, but they trying to zap it out, all those artificial intelligence, these AIs, these robots. Even I heard where, and I'm gonna say a legend, where they doing research with military armies, spending the government's giving them billions of dollars, to do research, talking about synthetic melody that they looking at. Now, good and well, who wants synthetic? We don't even want synthetic pills in our body. So good and well, if they're going to spend millions and billions of dollars, doing research on melanin, which they've been doing it, it's just that now they can't hide the stuff that they are doing. And the reason why, because we are now in what I call the age of information. Everything is out, nothing can be hid. But they been was doing research when it came to the melanin of our skin, because like I said, we are the lifeline to everything that exists. Without us, nothing will exist. Okay. One thing about us, when we go out there in the sun, and this is not being racist, when we go out there in the sun, the sun, it basks in us, our skin, our melanin skin. It doesn't burn us. It doesn't give us boils, and like I said, we are protected, but we just don't know that because we are in what I call this European standards. Everything that's close to white is right. But like I said, just go ahead and do your research and you will know 2045, which the president of the United States went ahead and talked about that as well. You're going to need that melanin that's in your skin. Okay. So right here it says Serena Williams is abdominally denying that she's making major changes to her appearance. And hold on, let me put my glasses on. I can't see what the glasses are without, but it's saying that she's making appearance after a recent video of her retired tennis superstar went viral, saying speculations she's lighting her skin is BS. So she's calling the BS. And she also saying, and no, for you haters out there, I do not bleach my skin, Serena said on Instagram Live while going through her makeup routine on Monday. And I'm not going to go ahead and play all this right here, but let me play a little bit. So I went ahead and put the copyright disclaimer.
Then usually I go back for a third time, and then I put just that neutral color that is actually my skin color. And no, for you haters out there, I do not bleach my skin. There is a thing called sunlight. And in that sunlight, you get different colors. And if I'm not posting and recorrecting my pictures and posting from my daughter's, um, what is it? She had a play that I was volunteering on and had stage makeup on.
But I will, and I've been a cosmetologist for almost 40 years since, like I told you guys, since 16, since I was 16, got my license at 17. But I just wish that I can attack those eyebrows. My God, I don't know if it's thread or what, but my God, those eyebrows got to go. But at one time, guys, when it came to those sisters, oh my God, I was stay in front of the television. Thank God I had my own business. Okay. But she said that she's not bleaching. So I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff. A lot of people are calling her, she looked like the white chick. They say the same thing when it came to Nina Leakes, was saying that Nina Leakes wasn't bleaching. So I don't know what it is. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So let me go ahead and read some more. And also, guys, let me know what your thoughts about it, where it says that Serena went ahead and she clapped back. She clapped back, came after numerous social media accounts focus on how Williams looked when she shared footage for her daughter's school play, with some commenting on the shade of her skin. And also, it says there's a thing called sunlight. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do some research when it comes to that right there. When she's talking about is a thing that's called sunlight. Now, maybe it's good lighting. I don't know, guys, but it's a lot of people out there that's is out there bleaching the skin. Okay, and Serena also says, while also pointing out that she was wearing. Hold on one second, guys. Phone wasn't even ringing until I came online. Okay, guys, sorry about that. It's just that I'm down here in the South, and you got people that pick some vegetables for us. So thank God that we're trying to eat a little healthier around here. Okay, so that's a good plus. So let me see where I was. Right here it says there's a thing called sunlight, and that is the sunlight. You get different colors. Okay, all right, Serena Williams. Serena also says, while also pointing out she was wearing stage makeup after volunteering to help the kids backstage at the performance. And just let me know what your thoughts. I'm not. I think that's it. Let me know what your thoughts about all this right here when it comes to Serena. They claiming that she's bleaching her skin. She came out and called people haters and saying that she's not bleaching. But even if Serena is not bleaching her skin, why are she wearing makeup that's lighter than her color? Okay, it doesn't make no sense. And also, when it comes to the blonde hair, when it comes to blonde hair, you can go ahead and do the research yourself. Anything that's blonde, anything that has no pigment in it, it is dead. So why are you trying to wear hair that is dead, cells? So let me go ahead and get out that, because I told you guys that I'm going to see if I can stay on no more than an hour. So we're going to go ahead to the Grand Dam. Yes. So let's see if I can go ahead and pull that up right quick. And then after that, we're going to go into your girls, So Gucci. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull this up right here when it comes to Karen Hugert. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna say allegedly. Okay, guys, I think this is her second DUI. So I don't think that the judge is going to be lenient with her, and if so, then we're gonna start looking at them side-eyed. Okay, even though I like Karen Hugert, and I think the show that she's on is called Potomac Housewives. Yes, Real Housewives of Potomac. Karen Hugert loses plea to exclude DUI footage from her evidence. So I guess she wanted to go ahead and see if they can go ahead and kick that out, but I don't think so, Karen. So right here it says that Karen Hugert interaction with the police during DUI arrest is entering into evidence despite her best effort to do the opposite. The Real Housewives of a Potomac star moved to stop the body camera footage of her arrest from being presented to the court in a DUI case year no fruit. So she was trying to go ahead and see if the judge was going to go ahead and throw that out. And also, Karen Hugert was arrested by law enforcement officers after slam with healthy charges from crashing her 2017 Maserati into a tree early in the year. Also, it says right here, Karen Hugert motion to throw out the evidence in a DUI case was discarded. So, like I said, I don't think that she's going to get out of this. Now, I do not think that Karen is going to serve time, but most likely it might put her on a huge probation. Like that, or maybe a bracelet. But right here it says that the judge reportedly threw out the reality star request to not admit statements she made to police and body cam footage of the DUI arrest as evidence. Hugert motion to suppress specific evidence in connected to her conduct during the March accident. Also, it says that the star was reportedly the car's only occupant. Thank God she was the only one in there. But just think about, I think Ashley had came out and said, it's not, we glad that, nothing happened to Karen, but what about, you know, people, that was in their cars, you never know. Cause like I say, one of my cousins, she had got killed, but also when it struck a median and a street sign and intersection before ramming into a tree. In Touch reported that officer took Hewer into custody, alleging she was intoxicated at the time of the crash. She was then charged with driving under the influence, neglectfully driving a vehicle in a careless and imprudent manner, endangering property, life, and person, and various other counts. So let me know what your thoughts about this. Karen wants to see if she can go in front of the judge, and also she's down talking to police. That is not a plus. That's not a good plus at all. Okay. Especially when you're trying to win favor with the court and you talking about the policemen, they didn't do their job right. So let me know what your thoughts about all that as well. So let me go ahead and get out of this right here. And I want to talk about this right here before we get into So Gucci, okay? I saw
they're telling us, oh,
which is old, and I know you guys saw it over and over again. I'm trying to find the entire footage of this right here. I think it was sponsored by the NAACP and OWN Network, and a lot of people was asking why Melody and Martell wasn't there. Like I say, when it comes to Melody and Martell, to me they like two peas in the pods. I truly believe that, and this is my opinion, guys, that if Melody didn't go, Martell wasn't gonna go. And I think they know now that they are losing control of the show. I think that, they know that now, people, they are sick and tired of Melody and Martell drama where they want to see something different. And I saw the entire show, but it was on someone else's platform. I want to try to see if I can go ahead and pull it up myself, because they made a lot of points when it came to them setting on the panel. They all looked beautiful. And, guys, I've been talking about this from day one, when it came to the Scotts, the Scotts was going to be the ones that's going to pick up and run with this show, because like I said, when it comes to Melody and Martell, I think that they brought it to an all-time low, because they made it all about their infidelity, instead of making it about the Chorus 6, not knowing that these people have real license, have real businesses, and they have a huge impact when it comes to Huntsville. But see, we never would know that. And the reason why, because, we was so fixated, in Melody's trauma and all this toxic stuff that was going on. And just to hear half of the stuff that these people was talking about, on this stage, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that when it came to Marcel had talked to Carlos King, where he came up with a name. I can't think of the name that Marcel had came up with, but he came up with the name. The way that Carlos King was talking, as if, Marcel was the one that had the ball in his hands. We was talking about Martell because Martell told Tasha K, that it was him and Melody's idea, which we already know when it came to this home stuff, preservation stuff that they was doing. They had pitched it to Carlos King, but there's just so many different stories, so I'm just going to go by, what they are saying right here, where, they all, had a major part when it came to this show. And Carlos King talked about, how, it was supposed to be, about buildings, but, he talked to his people and, they came up with Love and Marriage in Huntsville. But let me see if I can go ahead and play a little bit about something that they was talking about. And guys, I'm trying to find, if you can find, tell me where to go to find the entire video. I would like to go ahead and watch it. Okay. So also I see Gail Francis in the house. Hey, Gail. She says, hello, everyone. So let me see if I can play a little bit. And also let me go ahead and put up my copyright disclaimer. Okay. Because I would like to go ahead and dive through all this, pick all this right here apart, because they had some very key points in here.
Man, I love that idea about the comeback group. There's so many disenfranchised areas that this can impact, and the impact that it has on economics and all the rest of these.
Why y'all laughing?
And keep laughing when we say comeback group.
I don't know what's funny, guys. I don't get the joke. I don't get it. I don't get it.
We get to talk to y'all one-on-one, right? We get to like chill.
Y'all miss the comeback group.
So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and pause it right here and talk about the comeback group. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to sit there and just watch them building. Well, that's just to show you where your mindset. Because if you don't want to see Black excellence, you don't want to see our people coming together in their community and building something that we've been talking about for so long. It's time for us to start doing for ourselves. It says a lot about you. What do you want to hear? All about drama all the time? Make it make sense. It's like you say you want to see Black excellence, and the minute when they show you that, then they want to go ahead and say, oh, this boring. And then all of a sudden they want to be upset why Melody was. I want to know why Melody was not there either. But like I said, if it's not about Melody, then Melody is not going to be there. But they know now that like I said, people are waking up. People are sick and tired. For almost 7 seasons, these people have been riding on this trauma behind the train wagon. But now, you see people that's trying to put it back together when it comes to Maurice, how you guys clown Maurice. Maurice, he was in the top class when he graduated out of college. But we don't know stuff about that he was valedictorian. We don't know about that. We don't know about he had like him and Kimmy together. They got like 9 different I think like they homes or something like that, renovating homes or stuff like that. And Marcel talked about 6, different businesses, not just in Huntsville. I would love to see the Scotts build up their dream home. I would like to see that. I would like to see from the ground up. We don't want to see all this stuff going on over and over. It's like recycling. Every time, every episode, when this show comes on, it's like recycling. It's just figuring out another way how to sit there and still talk about the same things. It just doesn't make no sense at all. So when it comes about the comeback group, that's what it original started. That was the foundation. So I would love to see about that. Okay, I would love to see.
No, we did though. Kimmy, how many properties do you own in North Huntsville? You and Reese?
Oh wow, we have 9 at this point.
Yeah, and we have 6.
We have 9.
Yeah. And so while the cameras ain't rolling and we getting paid, we still building in that community.
And so
we just happen to do what we say we're gonna do.
Yeah. Right. We still do on a daily basis exactly what we said we're gonna do every single day.
And see, that's what I wanted to show you. You know, they got 9 properties. Tisha and Marcel, they have 6 properties. We don't even know anything about that. And just like Marcel came out and he said, with or without this show, these people are doing their things. These people are busy and booked. They don't have time to come on social media. They don't have time to sit there and go and jump from platform to platform and watch what other people are saying about them or trying to come up with hundreds of different businesses, like Marcel said, trying to see what's going to stick. These people actually have their foot on the ground. But the thing about it is that you guys wants to keep your foot on these people's neck as if they jealous of what? I hate when people come on my platform and wants to go ahead and talk about, oh, you guys jealous. Nobody is jealous of nobody. Like I say, it's enough for everybody. It's just that you guys are lifting up one person and tearing down everybody else. This is a freaking reality show. You guys have to know exactly how to separate a reality show from these people's personal life. Just like when I was watching this right here on somebody else's platform, the entire the entire time, the lady was upset of these people talking about their accomplishments. Who does that? Who does that? But I also like when callers had asked about they peak, and they pit and they peak, and how Tisha, he was saying that Tisha reminds him of his mother. And right there, because guys, in here I'm a critical thinker, and when he was telling that to Tisha, I say that's the reason why they was trying to strip her. That's the reason why they wanted her to act, out of her character. Because they didn't like the part when Carlos King had said that Tisha reminds of his mother, and before his mother had died, Tisha was her favorite. They didn't like that because they hate families. They hate to see unity. Anytime when they see a family that's divided and split it up, they love it. But when you see families that's out there, grinding and trying to leave legacies for their children, they don't like that. Our people don't like that. Why? They don't want to see people coming together, families. They want to sit there and see families broken up, dysfunctioning. They want to see stuff like that because that's slave mentality. Because old Maxwell sat there and said, you can do better if you sit there and get the man out the house. So we got this generation right here all jacked up. We have this generation all jacked up where we think that, we can do better. Like I said there and say, it takes 2. You can't do it by yourself, because if you're trying to do it yourself, some people can do it. But like I said, some people, like I said, they like to solve life. Don't get upset with someone that they wants to be a mother. And I'm pretty sure that when those children grow up, they're going to appreciate their mother. That their mother was there, sitting there, came to all our events, was there to tuck us in our bed. My mother was there to make sure that we had hot meals. Nothing's wrong with that. But with this generation, with this Me Too movement and stuff like that, got us all messed up. We don't want to hear nothing like this. We want to hear the destruction of Black families. That's what we want to hear. But the sad thing about it is our people. See, they don't want to hear nothing like that. They don't want to hear. That's why that lady was all upset when she was doing commentary on this right here. All upset. But like I said, why? Why do you want to see division? Why you want to see the downfall of somebody? Make it make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense at all, okay? It's just to show you that we have a long ways to go. A long ways to go. Hey, Renee says, why would the Scott stay on this show? I don't know, like I said, they said when it came to this show, the show opened up a lot of doors for them. Some of these people, that's really see beyond all the BS is not sitting on their soapbox each and every day, trying to pick it apart. Some people, when they watch the show, they know that this is a reality show. They know that these people are getting paid to entertain us on a Saturday, in my Colorist King voice. No, everybody, they see the bad side, they see the good side of things, So just like I don't know if it's not on this clip right here, but Marcel has said, that when people comes to Huntsville, they not only go to that space thing, which I had passed by it before, NASA, they also goes to his business. They goes to Black because now Huntsville is on the map. So, like I said, it could be good if we don't cast our pearls to swines. Like I said, this is not no Melody and Martell's show. Melody and Martell was not cutting those checks. And now how Colorist King came out and he put the pieces together, they all played a major part when it came to the making of Love and Marriage in Huntsville. They all had their own part. So let me go ahead and read some more of the comments. I see I am victorious. I just love that name. She said they were hating so hard on the family in WK chat. Absolutely. Because like I said, these people are miserable. These people are lonely. Most of these people are boxed. And I've been telling you guys from day one, these people get paid to tear down other people in order to lift one person up. I've been telling you guys from day one. Now the covers are being ripped off. They have been exposed. They don't want to see anybody make one step unless it's somebody that they like, but like I say, it's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work at all. And I do think that when it came to Martell and Melody, they should have been there. They should have been on that panel as well. Now, I don't know. They say Melody was a part of something, but she wasn't on that platform, but I truly believe she should have been on there as well. Okay. But also Annette Johnson has says, I'm not sure who deleted my message, Lady D. I don't know. So I don't know. I am so sorry, guys. I don't see any mods in here that's deleted your message, but I'm gonna go ahead into my and delete all those mods that's not active anyway. So go ahead and you are a member, you are a supporter, so your comments should not be deleted at all. So let me know what you had said, Annette, but I'm gonna go back and try to go ahead and clean some of that out. But Annette sat there and said, I'm not sure who deleted my message. Lady D asked where she could watch the entire video. Oh, okay. Yes. And sorry about that, Annette. Also awesomely grateful. Yes, hey, gave me a love and some hands. And JD's Love Ray says they don't like it, not Mel doing it. Absolutely. They don't like anything unless Mel is doing it. Absolutely. Gail France says that she did not go. She was invited. She chose to go out that night. Like I said, that tells a lot, and the thing about it when it comes to Colorist King, Colorist King put all his eggs in one basket, lifting up her. Like I said, when he went to Huntsville, I thought that he should have went and had the entire cast together, but he went and he crowned Melody just for Melody to come back and bite him in the butt because Melody was going over his head, going to high up, trying to sit there and get him off the show allegedly and calling for blackouts. You know how they didn't want nobody to watch the show, which that was just staged anyway. It was just all about money. And I just don't understand these silly, overzealous fans. They feed into all that. When they was telling you guys, don't black out the show, but they knew so much about the show. Make it make sense. They did not wanted you to watch it because they wanted you to go on their platform and watch their review so they can get the views. Come on, guys. You guys need to wake up, guys. It's time for you guys to come out of that, okay? Also, Gail says she did not go. Okay. Annette says that I was just telling you where to watch the show. Okay, let me go back so I can see where to go ahead and watch the entire thing. Okay. Because I want to get some clips off of that so I can go ahead and play it. So let me see where she said to go. Annette says, I'm not sure who deleted my message. Lady D asked where she could watch it. So where can I go to watch it? I don't see where you had posted. Give me the name of the site, because I would prefer to go to a site than go on a YouTube. I don't want anything off of YouTube. I want to go on a site because you got a bunch of haters, okay? And like I said, they already went ahead and strike my video. So come on, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button, comment and share these videos for more unapologetic content. I see that I have 25 people in here and only 17. Like I said, if I don't like what somebody is saying, trust me, I'm not going to just sit and just slum on somebody else's page. And I tried that Call is King YouTube page. So that's the name of it. It says Call is King YouTube page. Okay. Because it has some very key points on there I want to go ahead and talk about. Thank you very much. Let me make sure. So yes. So Call is King YouTube page. Okay. All righty. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. So let me see if I can get out of some of this right here. Let me play a little bit more.
Even though that may not be the general focus that y'all get to see.
Okay. And you heard what Kimmy said. It's not the stuff that we get to see because they cut it out. They cut it out because they love drama. That's what they love. And I also blame Call is King when it comes to all that. Like I said, not everybody, wants to sit there and see these people fighting back and forth. Not everybody wants to see that. I don't think that that's good entertainment. Now, I don't mind, having a little drama. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little drama, but still of all, don't make it about one person, and that's why I think that they wanted to go ahead and stay home. Like I say, Melody and Martell, I don't care what you guys are saying. Those two are working together. And that is my opinion. And like I said, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. My opinion, according to these reality shows, I think that these people are working together, okay? Also, Annette said, this is what I had typed and it was deleted. Sorry about that, okay? Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and check in my studio because like I said, if people that's saying that they for you, but, some of these people, you got to watch them, okay? So let me see where I'm at because I had wrote some things down, okay? And yes, also, let me go ahead and play this right here. I had saw this one on TikTok. I pulled this one up. And like I say, this was the last of the moment, okay? Because I wanted to go ahead and just focus on SoGucci, okay? Because I think that she had got a real bad deal, okay? A raw deal. Why would the hell Call is King want to go ahead and delete all the stuff that she had talked about? You don't do that. So let me play this right quick. And then after that, I'm going to go into SoGucci, okay? So let me play this little small clip.
So out of 100 episodes cast, I'm starting with Marceau. Name the pit and the peak.
Well, I would start off with my pit. And the pit would be probably that Tisha and I bedroom scene where I misspoke about which side of the tracks she was from. I just meant the other side of town. And actually, I don't even know why I just brought that up. Because I'm stupid. I shouldn't even brought that up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even brought that up. All right. Forget I said that, guys. Okay, so no, that's definitely the pit. That's definitely the pit. And I would say the peak, I would probably say the peak would be, well, one of the peaks. There's been so many peaks, but the grand opening of Black, probably. Yeah. The grand opening of Black, or even the chocolate in the bottle stuff in Houston. But just showing that Black excellence, just being able to just, people see that. Now I got people from all over the world. Just shameless plug, but when you come to Huntsville, one of the top cities in the nation, there's only two places that people come in as a destination to see: the Space and Rocket Center and Black Cigar Lounge. Yeah, hands down.
Hands
Clap
down.
for that. That's big.
Hands down. Hands down. And see, we don't want to talk about stuff like that. We don't want to talk about stuff like that. And I like when Marcel went ahead and took accountability. So I hope my girl watched my replay. Come on, misbehave and watch my replay. But everybody takes accountability except Melody. Okay, Marcel, he went ahead and he took accountability because that was a horrible scene when he went ahead and he had talked about how, Tisha, from the other side of the track. And Tisha felt it very down, very horrible when he said something like that. And when it comes to Marcel, he always put his foot in his mouth. He says some things and they think that he's joking, but guys, hey, he need to lead that to the professionals. And he did take accountability and a lot of other stuff that he took accountability for. But also when Colorist had asked Tisha, which I'm trying to find that scene when he asked her, what her pit and peaks is. And she talked about when her cousin had threw that drink in her face and Colorist King did not touch it. You hear me? Colorist King did not touch it. I thought Colorist King was going to go ahead and talk about it because every time when someone was talking about their peaks and they pit and their peaks, he elaborated on it, but he didn't talk about it, because like I said, that right there, they just wanted to go away, but you cannot make that go away. Long as they going to be on that show called Love and Marriage in Huntsville, then they're going to have to address all the stuff that had happened when it came to Kiki. Because we already know when it came to her, we know exactly how she got on that show. But like I said, they need to stop sitting there trying to clean up all the stuff that Melody is doing. Because we already know when it came to Kiki did not come through that front door. Kiki came through the back door. She came through Melody. And when Tisha said that was her lowest peak, I think that Colorist King should have went ahead and talked about that. And also when Maurice had talked about, his lowest was when his wife had the cancer. So Kimmy came and said, she wanted to talk about that. But then I got something else to talk about because these people want that stuff to come out. They know that, it's not going to most likely, if they say it on the reality show, it's going to end up on the cutting room floor. So now that they had a panel, and they can be, transparent and talk about some of the stuff, that's going on that we are not privy to, they wants to get it out. And she talked about the event that had happened at Madani, at Destiny's grand opening. Melody made a big scene about that. And you guys always sit there and say Melody to blame for a lot of stuff. Melody is, because Melody, she puts her 2 cents in everything, just like what she did when it came to Maurice and his DUI. Which, found out, he does not have a DUI, But like I said, if you don't get in the mix of everybody's business, then nobody wouldn't talk about you. And I like when Kimmy went ahead and she brought it up because like I said, Melody thought that what she did, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. One, she sat there and she brought that black cloud to Destiny's event, which she was not invited, but she wanted to sit there and have her moment. She left out of Destiny's event, then she headed over to Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda wasn't bothering nobody. Miss Wanda just wanted to sell her food, get her truck out there, advertisement. I think Miss Wanda would have done good if Melody would have never brought her narrative over there and sabotage this woman business. And that's how I see it, because what she did was she went over there and she said that Miss Wanda's food was nasty. And according to what Miss Wanda said, that Melody never tastes her food. You see? So like I said, people don't want to talk about stuff like that, but that's all right, because what goes around come around. Is all the stuff that she did, all the seeds that she went out there and she sowed. It's harvest time. It's coming up. Okay. So let me go ahead and read some more of the comments. Awesome gratefully say, I think YouTube deleted message sometimes. They do, yeah, but that was nothing to I don't know why they would delete that, but I don't know. But she also said, I post my other YouTube page during a live and it's mysteriously disappeared. This happened more than once. Yeah, sometimes they be tripping. YouTube absolutely trips with me, man. They barely pushes my videos out and everything, but that's okay because it gets to the right people. Trust me, and that's real talk. Awesomely Grateful says Marcel and Marie's dad was in jail. Oh, I didn't know that, when they were kids. So why talk about Tisha's background? Absolutely. And I think that he had felt sorry because he was sitting there saying that, it was times that he was pretty much, I don't understand why. I think he had said homeless, and because his family, like, they intact, where he said he used to sleep on the pew, the pews in the church. Sometimes he used to sleep on the pews in the church. I'm gonna have to find that clip because I remember he said something like that. But like I said, and I see, people also seeing it as well. I've been saying it from day one when it comes to Miss Wanda and her family. You guys can talk about Miss Wanda and her family, saying that, Miss Wanda is from the other side of the track. But one thing about Miss Wanda, and guys, I've been saying it for so long, Miss Wanda and her family, they had love. They knew how to entertain. When you go around Miss Wanda and her family, I promise you, you're going to have a good time. And I've been saying it for so long. Now everybody else taking a talking point. Okay. And also when it came to Melody and her family, looked like, all that catering and all this snooty stuff, that reminds me sometimes, not my husband's father's side, but the mother's side. Like I said, trust me, people wants to have a good time. People don't want to sit there and just look around all snooty and stuff like that. And I truly believe, if you want to go ahead and have a good time, go around the Scotts, and that's where you're going to see the love. Okay. And that's real talk. Okay. So also Awesome says that glad he went ahead and retractable that Tisha support him without wavering. Absolutely. Absolutely. But he going to have to stop when it comes to Marcel gonna have to stop. He gonna have to take Tisha's feelings in consideration, because just like I had played some of those clips where, when he had came out when he was at the bar and said that Tisha was jealous of Mel, and Tisha was very upset about that. Jealous of Mel for what? Tisha got not one, not two, but 3 degrees, 2 masters, 1 bachelor's degree. Tisha's doing good. Tisha's not out there sitting there wilding with the dogs, going out of countries and hoping on people that they don't even know. And like I say, this is not alleged. We saw that when they went to St. Thomas. Melody, the first thing that she did, jumped on a stranger, some man or whatever. You don't see Tisha out there tilting her crown. And sometimes you guys have said that, say, well, look, Tisha is in a marriage that her man is cheating. Like I said there and say, 99.9% men cheat. And I know you guys don't want to hear, but if nothing is coming out of her home, Tisha sitting there, she's building, her children are happy, going to college, doing good. You leave out there, what you gonna do? Have a bunch of body counts coming out, a frying pan into the skillet. So what makes you think that the next joker that you're going to get with, he's going to be faithful? Make it make sense. All this right here is generational curses. They want it to trickle down. That's why they talks about stuff like that. But like I said, in here, it's real talk, unapologetic and non-biased. Okay. So also, Gail say they seems to attack all the other cast members is showing Black excellent. The ones that is not showing us any excellent, they going up for it. It makes no sense because, like I said, I say it from day one. We call good evil and we call evil good. That's just to show you we just all messed up. We messed up. We messed up until it's too late. Okay. K-Sense says, right. I like on they going to address that. I hope they do. K-Sense, I hope they do. Annette also says that Tisha also said when Mel put her out of her event. Absolutely. And I was talking about that yesterday a little bit. I want to go ahead and find the clip when Mel went ahead and threw Tisha out. But one thing about Tisha didn't get down into the gutter. Tisha didn't get upset. Tisha, she would, when Mel went ahead and used that little security guard to escort Tisha out, Tisha left. Tisha didn't make no scene at all. But what did Mel do? When Mel went to Destiny's event, she wanted to make a big scene. And I hate when you guys go ahead and talk about Destiny. Don't talk about people business. I hate when people talk about people business. That triggers me. Okay. I get triggered by that. You know, if you don't want to support Destiny's business, then don't support it. But don't ever put your mouth on people's business, because not everything is about a reality show. Like I said, when it comes to these reality shows, these people are getting paid to entertain us, according to Colorist King, on a Saturday night. Okay, so half of us most likely what he's saying don't have nothing to do but sit on a soapbox and watch these people lives. But to attack these people business, I don't care if Destiny was in a storage unit and selling her products, it's still legal. And if you get out the box and you start seeing how people are doing really good by getting storage buildings and selling their products out. I saw a guy, I think it was on IG. I should have pulled that clip, where he's selling cars. Yes, selling cars out of a storage unit, selling cars. So don't sit there, you know, and try to demise somebody's business just because they try. You have to realize when it comes to Destiny went through a lot. Went through a very bad, nasty divorce, going in and out of court. Not only that, all that was during the pandemic. So she had things hitting her left and right. And when it was time for her to make her debut, when she had her open at Madani, what they did, they went in there and they sabotaged it. They tore it up. And after that, we never heard any more about that business. So Destiny, she has a right to be upset. So guys, don't touch nobody's business, okay? So also, hey, Siren Sontress, she says, she's laughing. Okay, she also said most things you said come to pass. Absolutely. Thank you. But even though, you know, most of the stuff that I'm talking about on this reality show, I need to start elevating and talking about some real life issues. Because I also see a lot of stuff that's going on right before our eyes. And it's not on a reality show. It's real life stuff that is going on. But like I said, you know, my favorite words, Siren, what it is. When I tell it, you can take it to the bank. And that's real talk, okay? Yes, indeed. I need to let that stay there. Nikki says, I agree with you all the way that Mel was the cause. Yes, Mel was the cause of the big blow up at Destiny's Open. Absolutely. She did it. She purposely did it because she does not want nobody else to prosper but herself. She don't want nobody else to prosper but herself. That's the way that I see it. And that's why every time when she tried to build something up, the wind, the hurricanes, the kinker worms, the palmer worms, the locusts, it blows it away. It eats it up. That's why she got like 17 different business, because you cannot sit there and expect the favor of the Most High God to bless you when you don't want to see nobody else's blessed. It's enough room for everybody. Look at Stormy. I mean, she had everything that came against her. These people were sitting there trying to go on her business page and give her bad reports, but God still blessed her in spite of all of her enemies. I love that song, how God will bless you in spite of. And what you seen, Stormy is, she is soaring high as an eagle. Every time when Stormy goes on TikTok, she crashes it. Because God searches the heart of a person. And people going to support that. Do you think that people wants to put products all on their body when they know that it's coming from negativity? Like I said, all you doing is sending it to the sender. Start letting your words be good, your fruits be good, not evil spoken of. Like I say, when it comes to Stormy on TikTok, Stormy is a goat on TikTok. And you guys know that have been following me for a long time, way before Stormy even sat there and came out and said that she quit when it came to love and marriage and husband. What did I say? I saw in the spirit, Stormy, she got to leave. She went, she came, she conquered. Now it's time for the dust her feet and move on. Leave, Stormy. And Stormy, like I said, she heard the spirit and she took heed. She's not the type of person that when she hear the voice of God, when God say go, she just stay stuck. No, when God told her to leave, she left because God is going to send his messenger. So don't get me to start preaching, okay? So let's go ahead and read some more comments. Excellent content on here. Thank you very much. Awesomely grateful. Thank you very much. Sometimes, when you start looking at the numbers, and seeing how people striking your channels, I'm going to show you the strike over a freaking reality show. Wants to strike my channel over a freaking reality show, which I went ahead and repealed. But soon when you appeal, YouTube sat there and say, well, we can't take it off until 30 days, But people hate the truth. People hate the truth. Just by me saying what I'm saying right now, their ears are bleeding. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, guys. Yeah, people hate the truth. That's sad when people hate the truth. A little small teeny weeny channel, but you don't despise the small stuff because it makes a big, huge impact. I'd rather have 2 or 3 that's in the midst, that's right here, that's supporting me, that's loyal, than have tens and 20,000s of people that's just only out here just to suck the life out of you. Make it make sense, okay? Awesomely says, Melody is queen of the mean girls. She wears the crown well. Absolutely. And like I said, nothing good is going to come out that. Nothing good, because we already know how the story is going to end. Queen Jezebel had that spirit, and what happened to her at the end? End up falling out of a window where the dogs were sitting there eating her up. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of that. You got people think, oh, all the good people, it look like, they always get the end of the stick. That's all right. Just keep watching. Sooner or later, the ones that you think that's riding high, somebody else gonna shake them right off of that ladder, and the fall going to be even worse. And that's real talk, okay? Gail say karma comes back. Absolutely. Karma comes back around for her after throwing Tisha out that event. That was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. And right there, when stuff started happening, knowing that was wrong, shoot, I started calling it out left and right. Left and right, start calling that mess out. And every time when I was calling out, honey, I was on point, okay? There was a potential client that event, and after seeing that, they told Holt, no thank you. My God. Also, Awesome Grateful says that the ideal to keep your overhead costs low without trading off on the quality of the product. Congrats to Destiny for keeping her business going and not giving up. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I said there and say we got to do better, especially when it comes to Black businesses. We got to stop talking about people business. I don't care if you don't like that person. Okay? If you know that person, like I said, is doing good and trying to make an honest living and wants to see other people prosper, support that person. Now, I see if they going around sitting there, sicking their dogs, going on their business page and striking it and calling companies and telling people not to support. That's a hater. That's a hater. But you don't see Destiny going around getting her fans and telling them to go and strike people and call and sabotage their business. You don't see that. You don't see that. That's why I said there and say, try to support Destiny, guys. Like I said, Destiny had a hard blow. Destiny went through a very nasty divorce. Not only that, through the pandemic. So try to support her. And you guys sitting there saying, well, candles, $30. Like us, do you need me to show you the candles that I have purchased? You ain't gonna get nothing for no $2 or $3 unless you go to the dollar store. You can't even get a candle from Walmart less than $15 to $20. And she has a signature candles, and you want to sit there and say $30 is too much? Get real. Get real. Okay? And that's absolutely real talk. Okay? My girl says, say that again. Okay? I don't know what it was, but also Stormy and her self energy is so positive. She will win each time TikTok comes to Stormy's now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Favor is not fair, guys. Favor is not fair. You guys know, if you've been following me, you know when Stormy has was on TikTok and God had blessed her first time, I spoke to that spirit and I say, Stormy, leave. I say, Stormy, leave. Take heed. And the thing about it, Stormy got a mother that knows how to warfare in the spirit. Miss Betty, who, honey, mess with Stormy. They tried to mess with Stormy. Stormy, open up her door, open up her house. That's why I said, you got to be careful when you letting these slithering snakes come into your house. Ungrateful snakes coming in the house. But they got to get through Miss Betty, just like with Tisha. You got to get through Miss Wanda. Honey, those are 45 of fortified cities made with steel, honey. You can't come through the anointing of God. You'll get, honey, you'll be flat on your face, and that's real talk, okay? Stylist Jill is talking. You doing good. People will always, thank you very much, Stylist Jill. She said that you are doing good. People will always run away from the truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes I'm not going to tell you no lie. I feel like just go ahead and wrap it up. But that's when they say it's not about you. It's much bigger than you. If you sit there and say this is your ministry, you stand on your truth, you call yourself unapologetic real talk, just like my girl Misbehaving said, then hey, stand on your truth. Even if you got to be by yourself, Most High God is not going to ever allow me to be by myself. And that's real talk. Absolutely real talk. I see my girl is in the house, Miss Sapphire. She sat there and says that, Sapphire, she said, those candles smells good and are heavy. You can use the case for other things. When the candles finish, she will start selling them again February 1st. And let me know, guys, let me know. And I promise you, I'm going to purchase those candles. I'm going to purchase those candles, and make sure you go ahead and support Destiny. Because like I said, Destiny, she been through a lot. And you guys, you can't get mad with the messenger. I think, my opinion, is that when Melody came at her event, looked like everything started going downhill for Destiny. Everything started going downhill. Because like I said, people are watching these reality shows, and some of these people thinking that, all this stuff, it's real life. Some of this stuff, I don't care what Carlos King says. Some of this stuff is acting. Some of this stuff is scripted. And we take it so personal. And you going around tearing down this girl business, knowing that this girl went through a nasty divorce and got a child. Make it make sense. That's just to show you guys, some of you guys are just some hateful people. But we're going to go ahead and move on. I promise you guys, look, that's just to show you God is so good. God is so good. I've been on here a whole hour, and I promise you, a whole hour, and I have not even got to what I really wanted to talk about. That's just to show you when you love what you're doing. When you love what you're doing, it's no time. It's just going to flow. When you love what you're doing. Like I said there and say, yes, I want clicks and likes. Yes, I want to get paid, but I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm going to stand on my truth. And what's for me is for me, and no man can take it away from me. What God has for me is for me. But when you do something, you do it because you love it. You do it because you enjoy what you're doing. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on with that. And we're going to go into Belle Collective. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into Belle Collective. I want to go ahead and comb through all this right here. Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and put this on right quick. Yes, indeed. But I don't know if I'm gonna get into another reality show, guys. I like to talk about stuff that's dealing, when it comes to Black history. I love talking about stuff like that. But when it comes to the reality shows, I think that the reason why the Most High God laid me there is because I know how to take the foolish things, which is these reality shows, to conform the wise, because that's where my people at. My people smack dab right in these reality shows. And if I can sit there and use this to get the message across, then hey, oh well. So let me see what I can go ahead and put up, okay? So yes, let me see if I can go ahead and I'm going to put all this right here is alleged, okay? Because I'm finna go into this right here, okay? So I'm trying to find that right there. And let me go ahead and read the copyright disclaimer, because I'm going to go ahead and play some clips, okay? Which I did fuzz the video out a little bit, okay? So again, guys, the copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. So guys, make sure again you hit like, comment, and subscribe for more unapologetic content. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Belle Collective. Okay, now I don't know what day it comes on, guys. If you can tell me what day the show come on, just let me know, because I had put it on a replay and I was just watching it back to back. So I don't know what day that Belle Collective come on, but I truly believe that we overlooked a lot of stuff that's coming on. So let's go ahead and talk about SoGucci, and I think that her real name is Sophia. Okay, so she was on Colorist King platform Monday. I don't know if Colorist King still call it Messy Monday, but she had a grievance. She felt like she was unprotected, and that is her right. It is her right. And the thing about it, what backs her up is that she went to court and she had got a claim, that, a restraining order, however, that these people cannot be in the same room. That's the reason why you go to court. You go to court when you feel that, you and a person, can get into an altercation and, you ain't got time to pay no bad money, go to jail, or, trying to get yourself out of a world of trouble. So when you go and you get a restraining order, the restraining order is to respect other people's boundaries. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So Annette sat there and said that it comes on. Thank you, Annette. And Miss Sapphire says that it comes on Friday at 8 p.m. Thank you, guys. Friday at 8 p.m. Miss Sapphire 9800 and also Annette Johnson has said. So, guys, thank you for supporting me. So when people are good for you, because they're gonna support me. My God, thank you. With the membership, thank you very, very much. So when she came on and she talked about how she felt like she was unprotected. So I asked the question, who started it first? If who started the altercation, who started this mess first? Because it was an altercation, because if I'm not mistaken, when it came to SoGucci, I think that, her finger, I think something had happened to her finger. So we're going to comb through and see who started this altercation, because no way in the world that Colorist King should have went ahead and deleted, cut out her part. Why would you want to have a live platform if you don't want to hear the truth? But see, they don't want people to hear the truth because it messes up their image. They want people to sit there and paint this canvas, with butterflies and flowers. They want people to beautify this. But like I said, so many people had complained when it comes to the stuff, that Colorist King got his hands on. Now, like I said, I do like Colorist King, but some of the stuff that he do it, the way that he go about it, I don't like it, because just like when people come into my office, if people come in and they have a grievance, if they have a complaint, you got to sit there, you got to stop what you're doing, and you got to listen to them. You got to take a report. But you see, he didn't want to hear that. He had got very combative. So let's go ahead and see how all that went ahead and started, okay? So as you can see right here, this is SoGucci. She went ahead and she came in vent. I think that the girl name is Latrice. I think her name is Latrice. She's the one is married to this old guy called Clifton, which, that's another story by itself. But she came to one of Latrice's events. So as you can see, she's walking in, because we're going to comb through this right here, okay?
Are you Thank you.
And if I'm not mistaken, her name is I think they call her, what's her name? Is Akeisha? I think her name is Akeisha. Okay. So I'm just new to the show, but I know what I see. Okay. And that's real talk.
Look at us, great minds. I know. Hey, girl.
I greeted SoGucci and she gave me like this weird energy and I just wasn't feeling it. Like, how are you gonna come to my event and basically shade me? But I'm gonna put my best foot forward and we're gonna have a great time.
So right there, you know good and well, it was all being messy because I truly believe that Latrice already know, even though she said it was her event, I don't even think she most likely paid for it all. You know, most likely the producers, and the producers most likely called SoGucci and told SoGucci to come over there. Okay, I don't think that this girl went ahead and made herself up, put on her bestie, and went to that event. Okay, so I'm gonna keep stopping it, guys, because I want to get to the bottom of it. Also, I see where Miss Sapphire said that SoGucci and JJ started all that mess. Well, let's see. The first season they came on the show, every episode they were speaking on Selena. I am sorry, SoGucci should leave if it's a problem of feeling unprotected. So let's go ahead and see this part right here, this scene. Okay, we're gonna talk about this scene right here. Okay, so like I said, when it comes to all this right here, I don't have a dog in this fight, but I know one thing. I'm gonna call it as I see it. Okay, so I'm gonna call all this right here as I see it.
I like it. Girl, my style is out of control. Yeah, it is kind of different. I'm like, that's different. I like it, but I like it though. Thank you.
Now that's JJ daughter. Now is another scene that I didn't go ahead and put up where JJ's daughter, they already had talked it to Gucci. Okay, so you know it wasn't no beef, no bad blood between the daughters, you know, not what I see right here. Okay, so let's see who started. We're gonna see who started, because like I said, you know, I don't know these people, but we only gonna call out what we see. Okay, so if I was just say I was on a jury stand and the DA went ahead and gave me this evidence right here and put it, you know, on my lap, then I'm gonna have to call it out as I see it. So even though Gucci may have started it, but let's see who started this right here. Okay,
What a drink say, girl.
Well, you look beautiful in green, honey.
Girl,
I guess you got the memo.
green for money, baby. You look cute.
Thank you, friend.
so let's go ahead and stop right here. Now this she's Selena. She's the ex-wife of JJ. Now you can see right here, she all out of breath because she's sitting on Reddit. And I'm going to show you where she was sitting on Reddit, because all this right here was premeditated. And the reason why I said what she was doing was premeditated, because she's saying right here, let me let you hear what she's saying before I go ahead and say it.
See Miss Tamara in the building with her BFF over there.
Girl, listen. I ain't with all that fake ass boy, so I'm gonna stay in my corner.
Me too. I'm here. I don't want to knock nothing down in her because it's so pretty now. My relationship with Jay's ex-wife is kind of like, hey, hi, or not speak at all sometimes. We barely make eye contact when we're in the same room. I mean, I try to stay cordial with her for the kids' sake, but other than that, I don't have a relationship or have a bond with her like, you know, she's my best friend or anything.
Did you just tell Mama speak to you? We spoke. Okay. No, I was trying to see if y'all Bells know about SoGucci. I was trying to see if she spoke to my baby. She said what they spoke earlier or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she said she wouldn't have spoke. Did she ever speak to me? Hell to the mother? No.
So she already knew. She already talked. She said about her babies. Asked her daughters, did Gucci speak? The kids sat there and say, yeah, you know, because we already saw it was a scene where they went ahead and talked. Also, in that same setting right there, she told Tamara and them, she sat there and she said that, you know, Gucci does not speak to her, but as if she makes her speak. So if you know that, then, you know, why are you going in somebody's space? Like I said, you call right, you know, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know these people, okay?
I would have to walk my sexy ass over there and speak to her like I always do.
Are you serious?
So she sat there saying, what did Selena say? She have to walk her tail over there and speak to her to force a grown woman. Okay. So if you guys sit there and say what she's doing is right, then that's your opinion. Okay. So let's go ahead and see.
She don't speak to you at all? Never. She speak back after I was spoken to her? No.
I'll be back.
Okay, baby. So yes.
I still got your towel in my house.
Girl, I gotta get it on my God. Thank you. You can just put it in the car.
That's what I'm gonna do next time.
Now, as she was talking to Tamara, let me play that back a little bit. You're going to see Selena took her hand and did like this, as if, what the hell she's talking about. She said that shusha. Okay. So let's play that again.
You can just put it in the car.
That's what I'm gonna do next time.
Oh, you look cute. That's cute. Oh, that's a two-piece.
Yeah.
That's a jumper. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real cute.
Thank you.
That's real cute.
Now, right there, when Gucci, come on, guys, come on. Like I said, we all have a right to our opinion, but we also, like I said, we stand on our truth. Now, when Gucci walked away, what did you see? You see that Selena took her purse and touched her. You don't do stuff like that. You invading her privacy. So let's go ahead and make it slow, okay?
Come here. What y'all thought? So Gucci.
Look at that. So who hands reached out to who? So how can, like I said, I don't know what led up to this, but I know what I'm watching right here that caused the altercation. Why would Selena take her red purse and touch her when Gucci was walking off? Come on, guys, talk to me. Don't stop talking to me right now. Like I said there and say, I don't sugarcoat. I don't sugarcoat. Let me go ahead and play it again.
Yeah. It's a jumper. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real cute.
Thank you.
That's real cute. Shantae, come here. What y'all thought? So Gucci.
Now, I know you guys saw her hands reached out. You cannot make another grown woman. You absolutely case sense. She says, if someone doesn't want to talk to you, you don't try to force them to talk to you. You all don't like each other. Absolutely. Now, we already know prior to that, Selena also said that when it comes to Gucci does not mess with her. She forces her to talk. Now, if you know that, why would you sit there now that the camera's on you? You want to sit there and do the same thing that happens, in your personal life. Make it make sense. If I know I don't like a person and I'm walking away from that person to keep me from sitting there, setting it off, and you touch me, I don't care. If you take your pinky finger and touch me, you still invading my privacy. So like I said, don't stop talking right now because in here is real talk. I'm trying to make it make sense. Just look at that. Look at that. Now, did she touch her? You see where Sophia is taking her hands. Look, don't touch me. But she's still sitting there trying to hold on, guys. So, like I said, you see that she antagonizing her. The girl sitting there, she walking off. So what do you want her to do? And this right here, like I say, this is a video. Can't get no clearer than this.
Never. She speak back after I spoke to her. No.
I'll be back.
Okay, baby. So yes.
I still got your towel in my house.
Girl, I gotta get it. Oh my God. Thank you. You can just put it in the car.
That's what I'm gonna do next time.
Oh, you look cute. That's cute. Oh, that's a two-piece.
Yeah.
That's a jumper. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real cute.
Thank you.
That's real cute. Shantae, come here. What y'all call SoGucci? SoGucci.
And you see, Gucci does not want it to be bothered with her. You see that Gucci is taking her hands and she's moving away, even though Serena went ahead and touched her. But the thing about it, guys, you guys don't like to hear the truth. You guys don't like to hear the truth. Now I'm sitting here telling you guys, showing you guys what's going on. I'm not telling you guys, I'm showing you guys what's going on. Now, all of a sudden, hey, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it because people don't want to hear the truth. Like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't even watch this show. All I know is that if this girl does not want to be bothered, a grown woman does not want to be bothered with another grown woman, then you're going to respect that. These are not children. These are grown adults. And that's why I call the colorism is coming in. Because you guys see exactly what's going on, but no, you guys is sitting there trying to get Serena on because you guys think that, she might make this show, because, she's light-skinned and some people saying she looked like Beyonce because they already had talked about it. I think it was the one that was a dentist was talking about Marie and talking about the other one saying Latrice, not Latrice. I think her name is the other one was sitting there saying, they were ugly people or something like that. As if, if people that comes on lighter, that's good TV. And that's where the colorism comes at. And like I said, look how they drop it. That's just to show you when it comes to these people. That's why I said there and say, I'm not sugarcoating for nobody. Now, all of a sudden, when I was talking the way that they wanted me to talk, then I had over 30 or 40 people. But the minute when now the talking is not what they want to hear, then they drop down. But I'm not going to let this upset me because I know I stand on my truth. And I know how when it comes to these YouTubers, they got tickled ears. They want everybody to sit there and have the same talking points. They don't know what it is when it comes to critical thinking. But like I said, it's not something that I'm just saying. I'm showing you. I'm showing you. And this upsets me when it comes to my people because we have our pickers and choosers. If you don't like a person, then that person shouldn't like that person as well. Make it make sense. Now, I'm showing you right now when it comes to Serena. This girl sat there and touched her with her purse. And you see where Gucci had her hands up, shushing her, telling her to leave her to alone. And you guys wants to sit there and say, this is not right that she started it. I don't care what came out of her mouth. You still don't put your hands on me. I can talk to you long as we on this reality show. We can go back and forth, just like when it came to Kenya Moore and Portia Williams. Kenya Moore said, hey, long as I'm talking to you, you on a reality show, but you don't put your hands on me because that's when you cross the boundaries. But nobody wants to talk about this. And just because this girl came on Colorist King and talked about she felt like she was unprotected, I would say the same thing too, because look how close this girl got to me and invading my privacy. But yet I'm wrong. So that's where I sat there and say, this is Colorist. Got to be Colorist. Because I promise you, if it was the other way around and Gucci would have went ahead and said, so Selena would have said the same thing. If it was the other way around, you guys would have took Selena's side. I promise you guys would have. You would sit there and say, oh, another angry black woman. That's what you would have called SoGucci, an angry black woman. That's what y'all would have said. We supposed to just shut up and just let people just use and abuse us. But like I said there and say, it can't get no clearer than what I showed you. Do you need me to play it back for the 4th time? This girl reached out and touched her arm. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Miss Sapphire says that the only reason why I say SoGucci is because of the interview Colorist King did with Selena. She told him to roll back the whole tape and see how it started. And we rolled back the whole tape. I watched another content creator where she didn't even get to that point right here, how it really started. But still of all, you still does not go into somebody's space. That was off limits. And when Tamara and SoGucci was talking, Selena went ahead and she shushed her, did like that. Because what it is that they are trying to get SoGucci, get her upset, to give Selena a moment to get her on that show. But like I said, it can't get no clearer than this. It can't get no clearer than this. I don't even care what happened prior to that. But this scene right here, when she reached out and she touched her, when SoGucci was walking away, then she should have left it alone. She should have left it alone. Annette says, right, Lady D, I agree. Selena should not have reached out and touched SoGucci. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Travanista. Let me go ahead. Let me move on. But like I said, when it comes to these people, I don't know these people from a can of paint. I don't have a dog in this fight. But when I come in here, I'm going to be real talk, unapologetic, non-biased. Just because I may like a person, I love my children. But when my children is doing wrong, I'm going to call my children out. Some people might sit there and say I'm biased when it comes to Tisha. If Tisha do anything, like I see that it's not right, I'm going to call Tisha out. I will have so many subscribers if I sat there and talked the way everybody else is talk, but I can't talk the way it, because I'm going to call it as I see it. And what I see right there, I don't care what led to this. All I know is that she was in her space and she touched her. And when you touch somebody, that's free game. So let's go ahead and play some more. Awesome Gratefully says that I feel like the reality stars are chatters to the production company. It's sad, girl. It's very sad. So let's go ahead and play some more.
I'm just like, so this the only person you see standing here?
I mean, you.
So she sat there and she told her, after she done got Gucci attention, she said, this is the only person that you see? Come on, let's see what she said. But you touched her.
Didn't want to speak at the baby shower, so.
The baby shower, honey, did you see how busy I was at the baby shower?
I wasn't even paying
Did you
attention to
even
that.
try to help out at the baby shower?
No, I wouldn't help
You
out.
never do.
No, I'm not going to help out.
You never have.
And you know what?
No, but before
I think she was invincible.
So that was the tension right there. She sat there and she had a motive. She said, did you help out at a baby shower? You never did. Now, this girl had your children. While according to what I've been hearing, while you was out there in some clubs on wherever, a stripping pole, whatever you was. And I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know these people. But you had somebody else watching your children while you was out there. Make it make sense. But that's still, you don't touch nobody. She wanted a moment and she wanted it in front of the cameras. And she got exactly what she wanted. And if you think that this girl going to put all her energy because Colorist King wants good entertainment. If I was Gucci and my husband, I will leave it. I will leave this show right where it's at because I'm not going to work overtime, just like I said yesterday, just for people to be entertained. Now, if you want me to go into the deep when it comes to my marriage and my husband's ex-wife, then you're going to have to go back to the table and we're going to have to negotiate. But not on this show. Let's do a spinoff. Because this is my real life. This is not a reality show. This is not for other people entertainment, just like they wanted Tisha to do. I promise you guys, in here is real talk. The day that I open up my channel, I'm going to call it as I see it. I don't go wherever the wind is blowing. I don't jump on the wagon with everybody because I have a mind for myself and I can see what I see. And what I see right there is that this girl was not protected. This girl was not protected. This girl got a court order, a restraining order. And they ignored that by putting her as one of the cast members when this girl violated her privacy. And they ignored it. And I promise you, if something would have happened, God bless Kiki's. God bless Kiki. Sometimes God will sit there, he will send warnings. And if you don't take heed, then everything that you thought you was building up, God will sit there and he would take it away from you. Because right here, this is what I call a lawsuit. This is a lawsuit. And I promise you, if I get the right person to watch this video right here, they will say the same thing if this child had a court order. And you put her in harm's way, she'll sue the hell out of you guys.
Before the baby shower. I think it's about to start. Before the baby shower, it's been the same.
Oh, well, let's keep it the same then. And number one, I'm not going to sit here and be talking to an extra.
Extra.
And see, that's what pissed her off. That's what upset her, really upset her, because she didn't like the fact that she was called an extra. That right there was the nail to the coffin, because if I'm not mistaken, they had something going on prior to this reality show. They had something going on TV. So Gucci went ahead and called her extra. That's really sat there and said it all. But like I said, it was words. Cheek and tongue can say anything, but you just don't put your hands on me. So let's go ahead and see this right here.
Extra.
Now who hands raised up again? Let's play it again. Who hands raised up again? So now it was not the first time, it was the second time that this girl, Serena, went ahead and provoked it. So Gucci, let's play it again. Because I didn't do this one in slow motion.
Extra.
What's that?
The conversation.
If Tamara wouldn't have been in between them, I think it would have been worse. It would have been worse. If Tamara wouldn't have been in between them, it would have been worse. Her little small self would have been in between them, it would have been worth. But like I said, you went into her space. When she walked away, that should have been a wrap. But no, she wanted her moment. And now she's a part of the cast. I wouldn't even be a part of this right here. And if anything would happen, I promise you, I would sue the heck out of every last person that is attached to that right there. And that's real talk. You right. All money is not good money. Gail said JJ was dragging Selena. She had a stroke is why he had the children. JJ was dragging Selena. She had a stroke is why he had the children and was recovering. Now she's on the show. He cannot control the narrative. Absolutely. She can't. He can't. He can't. But he can leave. If they know that they are not in a good space, then leave. I will leave, because if not, it's going to be a tragedy. It's going to be a tragedy. I don't care what had happened. All I know is this scene right here, how this start right there. You know, like I said, you know, I'm new to the show, but I know what I saw. And what I see right here is that this girl walked away. Travnisa says Colorist hasn't learned. Also, Arsenal Grateful says, I wonder what type of legal liability waiver they signed to be on the show. Well, all I know is whatever waiver that they went ahead and signed, if she had a restraining order against Selena, they still had to honor that because it was court. It was a court order. So anytime when you have a court order, then you're going to have to abide by that. So, you know, even if they had a waiver, you know, that overrules the court order, overrules the restraining order, overrules anything, because these two, you know, like I said, they shouldn't have never, you know, been in the room together if she had a court order. Now, I don't think that at that time, the scene right here, she was, you know, she was a cast member. I think that she was just, you know, coming in as a friend. I don't think that she even got paid for that. But, you know, I guess, you know, she figured, you know, if she come on and make this kind of stink, then she would be a full-time cast member, which I think that Misbehaving has said yesterday that she's a full-time cast member now. But, you know, if you're not going to protect me, then I might as well just go ahead and just leave. That's how I see it. Miss Sapphire 9800 says they didn't have a restraining order when they were filmed. The uncut tape was shown. That is why Selena was charged with assault. Okay, so she was a charge. Oh, she was assault. Okay. Well, she should. I don't understand if Selena was charged with assault. Why did they make her a cast member? Now, let me know that, guys. Now, because I'm gonna get deep into this, because you know when I get deep into something, I don't let it go. I would beat it like an old dirty dish rag. So I want to know if Selena was charged with assault. Now, according to what Miss Sapphire 9800 says, that they didn't have a restraining order when they were filmed, because the restraining order had happened after this altercation, which I know that's why. But also, Sapphire said that the uncut tape was shown. That is why Selena was charged with assault. And also, why did they both agree to the sit down this season? That's a question by itself. You know, maybe, you know, they didn't want to leave, but still evolve, you know, this right here of what we're watching right now. And if Selena was charged with assault, no way in the world she should have been a full-time cast member. You know, that's just asking for it. Gucci has a peace bond, not the same as a restraining order. Okay, so it was a peace bond. So a restraining order is that they couldn't get close to each other. Now, a peace bond is that, you know, when they come in contact with each other, you know, it wouldn't be no argument or stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some more research when it comes to that right there. Also, Miss Sapphire said correction, wasn't charged with. Oh, so she wasn't. Okay, so she wasn't. So this is a mess, guys. I promise you, this right here is a mess. You're gonna, this is a mess because you're playing with people's personal lives. Okay, they real lives.
Is getting very heated. It's happening so fast. This is not good.
Was married to Jason before you. Always been second to me. So what are you talking about?
Well, I basically hear a loud commotion, and I look over, and it's Selena and Gucci, and this is my event. I work so hard for my event, and nobody's gonna ruin it. Somebody needs to break this up now.
Extra bitch, I'll show you.
Show me
So, and not blaming this on you. I'm just telling you how I looked at it. Well, I'm sorry, girl. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I warned you. The Bible tells us warning comes before destruction. Right out the gate, you started privately talking to bloggers. I told you, be careful when you're communicating, but you don't listen. It's not that I don't want to listen. I get off track. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to sharing things that are happening before they're supposed to be shared, anybody sharing stuff beforehand, it's a no-go for me. I have children to take care of, so this is my check. And whenever, at any moment it's done, because information's being shared, I can't fool with you. Like, I just can't. I've gone out on a limb for you. I have taken heat even that wasn't true. Oh, she brought her own for da-da-da-da-da. I've taken heat for sticking up for you. I even popped up with a drug test for you so you could prove to everybody that you're clean. The discussions were about opportunities for you to discuss your book, overcoming, addiction, tell your story, To date, I haven't seen that.
My question is, who's next? I'm going to leave it with you guys. I'm going to leave y'all with that right there. Who's next? Who is next? I'm going to leave you guys with that right there. Think on that right there.
With all of them around, you scared to do. I'm not. As long as you joking now in for me.